Russ and Cheri, I'm excited to have them on stage. We've kind of just developed over the past couple of years. We've developed a deeper relationship, I would say, and just you guys have been really great wisdom to me. Even seeing you raise your children. I told you to send me a picture of your family.
My bad.
And they didn't.
My bad.
So I had to find one, and so this is the one I found. I think this is 10 years ago. 15 years. So this is Russ and Cheri and their kids. No, I think here's a later one. They have adult grown children now. But anyways, I want to hear kind of their story. I want you to hear some of their story as well. So we're going to just take a few moments and have them share. So I thought to start, just give me a little background on you guys. When did you meet?
Well, excuse me. So I'm originally from Fond du Lac. Went to school at Stevens Point, was there for 3 years, going about my life, and suddenly this freshman boy walks in. Oops. And from the first day we met, we were friends, and we were friends for a very long time. And then we just were more.
The rest is history.
And the rest is history.
Awesome. Give me kind of the 1 minute version of how and when you became a Christian, because I know you guys have had a faith in Christ for a long time. Mm-hmm. But give me kind of the 1 minute version. So, Russ, you want to go first?
Yeah. So I grew up in the Catholic Church. I mean, it was we went to church every Sunday, every week. When we were on vacation, you had to find where church was. So it was something that I always grew up with. But it wasn't something that I was ever taught relationship with God. It was just, you go to church. That's what we do. And it wasn't until I really met Cheri that things started to change, because we started going to a church together. That's actually some of our first dates. Mm-hmm. And it was really cool because, when we would pray the Our Father in the church, we get to hold hands.
That was it. Our first dates were to church.
Our dates are holding hands in church.
Holding hands.
So, but Cheri's faith was always so strong, and it kind of led us, and we actually got married in Stevens Point at the Catholic Church, because the pastor or the priest from the college, from the Newman Center, just really helped us grow our faith, and so it was after I met Cheri that things really started taking off for me, and learning more about the relationship with God and Jesus.
So it was attending, but it was investing in kind of listening and taking it in, not just having it be a 30-minute or an hour-long
right.
session.
How long can it be? A 5-minute sermon today, and then we can go home?
Yeah, sounds good. How about you, Cheri?
Yeah, I grew up in the Lutheran Church, and I went to Lutheran Day School from kindergarten through 8th grade, and then into the public school. Went to school with both of Aaron's parents at Goodrich, graduated in 1989. So I went off to college, and Emily said, and we love Emily. Emily and our oldest Sam are the same. They went to school together. I've known Emily since she was 5. So went off to college, like you've said, like Emily said, like so many said. That first year of college was maybe I can do some of this on my own. I met Father Mark from the Newman Center that was right on campus, and he talked about this idea of when we go to college, we take this suitcase that our parents have packed for us, and we unlatch it and pretty much throw it all to the wind. And it's always just so resonated with me, for me and for our kids. And it's when you start to pack your own suitcase that your faith becomes your own. Mm. And that started towards the end of my freshman year.
Yeah. So you had a faith in your upbringing, but it became very individual, as in I need to make these decisions on my own now, and am I going to practice it or not? And that
church
happened in
wasn't
college.
Just to say yes to my mom on Sunday afternoon. Did you go to church? Yep. Okay,
great. You guys have 3 children. Mm-hmm. You always seem to have other children in the mix as well, it seems, with you.
Blessed.
You've raised a family, and for me, I have 3 kids of my own, very young. How'd you do it? How'd you raise a family with faith, to have faith, even?
You had done some statistics a while back, and then I'll turn it to Russ, but you had done some statistics back
Yeah.
about if the kids come to church, if the mom comes to church, if the dad comes to church. And our two youngest are home this weekend, and they'll come to second service, so they kind of gave us some ideas, like what we did right and what we did wrong. But I would say Russ's faith really is instrumental in moving our family forward.
You know, and when we got married, you know, we'd been going to church together for a while, and we came from different religions. So when we talked about getting married, it was like, you know what, we want the kids to be the same thing, because we're going to go to the same churches. Because I know some people will try and split, and we decided that wasn't going to be in the best interest for our kids. We wanted to go up in the same faith, and so, you know, because of my background growing up and just this is what you do, I was still used to that. But it became more of a joy to be able to go to church and take the kids, and then figuring out, you know, leadership things within the church. And I know when we talk about getting involved in stuff, it was when I started getting involved, being a leader at the church we were at. We had confirmation. I was a confirmation guide. Man, I was scared to death to do that. I'm like, boy, that really took me out of my box. But it was like, you know what? I can do this. And it really helped grow the faith. And because I did that with both my oldest and my youngest, our boys, and I know Cheri did it with Jane, I mean, I think it was just that leading by example to show them that.
Yeah, I love that. I think like when you lead, or like put yourself out there and serve or in some area, you have to kind of own it. You know, it's like you're not just taking, oh, just do this. You know, it's like your kids are going to ask you, why? You know, and like you have to be ready with a why, or have an explanation, or just really comprehend it yourself. So
and be ready with a why. But you know what? My faith was growing, and I think that was something I was always worried. Well, I don't know why. I don't know the answers. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because God will help you, guide you that direction to show you what you should be talking about or what you should do.
Yeah, awesome. Changing gears a little bit now, the last 10, 15 years or so, like, have there been difficulties in your faith journey? Is there one or two things that stick out to you?
We've had some doozies, as everybody does. I mean, you know, if you only look at Facebook and only see what people put on social media, it can look pretty shellacked. So our oldest son was the same age as our nephew, Jared, who was this amazing kiddo, the son of Russ's brother and his wife, and our godchild. And we lost him to leukemia at 9. I always wondered how I would teach our children empathy, and then your son sits with his cousin until the day before he dies, and it is so different. And it was such a thing of helping them to understand that we belong to a God who loves us so much, but we still live in a very broken, painful world.
Yeah.
And then 11 years ago, I had a minor procedure that just had devastating effects, and I lost so much of my left side. And so I have been up and down, and unfortunately, I'm in a very bad down right now. And again, we live in a very broken world, but we serve such a big God. And, you know, I give so much credit to my husband for this. Like, I can't say thank you enough to my husband, because marriage is tough. And then when you take a physical disability that just stops so much in your marriage, and you have never looked at me different. Never. You've never.
Yeah, so like what I've seen in you guys is like you've dealt with a medical like struggle for years, and it's changed your life drastically. And to not be mad at God or lose your faith in that is admirable. Like, it's really cool to see you stick it out. But then
But we say, why God?
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong. Are
Yeah.
you sure, God, it has to be like this?
Yep.
And we pray every day that I might be healed by a miracle.
But one of the powerful things, for at least from my lens, it's amazing. But like, I see Russ, a faithful husband whose life is different as well because of that, and like that is a difficulty in itself. Yet, part of your faith story.
It's a big part of my faith story. I mean, my faith has had to grow because of this. You know, when we get married, I don't think we use the for better or worse on our marriage vows, but it was something on the variation of that. You know, and obviously this is not something we ever imagined we would have to be dealing with. You know, you have your kids, we're going to be looking at all this traveling, and a lot of that has really changed. But when we did get married, when Father Mark did our ceremony, I mean, he talked about the 3-in-1, that God has to be part of that relationship to continue, because the two of us, we wouldn't be able to do it by ourselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no matter how much knowledge we have, it's like without God, it would be very difficult. So he is really what's pulled us through. And when we talk about praying, you bet, I pray with Cheri each morning before I leave for work. And yes, every day. You know what, God, we trust you. We don't understand why this is happening. But if today wants to be the day you want to heal her, we'll be so ever thankful and grateful. But we will continue to look to you for guidance.
Yeah. Yeah. We're running a little bit out of time, but if you have questions about this, I know you guys are happy to like share and talk more about marriage and all of that, faith journey and that process. But I want to end with this question: like, what's your encouragement for others, like as they are doing their own faith journey that maybe is similar-ish to yours?
Try really hard not to get lost in the day-to-day. It's hard. We want what we want from our spouse, and sometimes our spouse can't give us that. That's why we need to belong to a really big God.
And continue to pray, continue to read, continue to learn. I mean, that's really what this church has brought for me as well. Just getting involved, being part of, you know, leading a small group. We're leading our small group for the first time. We've done it before in other places, but, you know, this is the first time we're doing it here, and just the getting involved that way. Cheri and I were two of the people who got baptized. I got baptized when I was a baby. But you know what? My faith is so much more now, and it was yes to God to say, you know what? I want to continue this growth.
Awesome. Can we give them a round of applause? Along with Emily Ziegler.